Hallihallo, liebe Zuhörer von Star Citizen News Radio. So, hier sind wir in Köln und neben mir sitzt Eric Wingman Peterson. Hi, Eric.
Hello, how are you? Hey, everybody.
Oh, fine. So, how's the day?
It's good. The day's good right now. We're here at Gamescom. We're having a good time, and we're ready to show some really cool stuff.
I hope so, and we all hope so that you're showing good stuff. This is that why everyone is here also tomorrow.
Yeah,
on the event.
It's going to be a really big event. We've got 2,000 plus people coming out to see some stuff. Chris has got a really neat presentation ready for everybody. We're revealing quite a bit tomorrow, or I guess when you're hearing this, it'll be after the event, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. So,
yeah, that's pretty.
So you will have already seen it on Twitch, and if you haven't, well, why not?
That's true. That's the pity part now when we are live here. That we afterwards can only air that, but
we're live here now.
Correct, we're live right now here, and happy to have you here.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
So, you are now the director from the Austin CIG. So, what exactly is your daily business? What you're doing there?
Well, it varies from day to day, but for the most part, I manage the studio in Austin. So, Austin's responsibility right now is the persistent universe. So everything that's going on in the persistent universe from planet side, building, and things of that nature is managed from us. And then we also do server back-end stuff. And then we have a few small pockets of things like animation and art, one or two shipbuilders there too. So basically my responsibility on a day-to-day basis is to make sure that we're getting everything done for that week's deployment or that patch that week, where the persistent universe is on track, the back-end server infrastructure is working the way we need it to, and we're getting the metrics we want in Arena Commanders. It's a pretty cool job. I mean, it's every 5 minutes you're on some other fire, you know. So you're fighting fires left and right. So I really like it a lot. It's grateful to Chris for bringing me on board.
Yeah. So and also some people were asking themselves, what did you before CIG right now? Where were you hanging around there?
Well. I was on Serenity with Malcolm Reynolds, and no, I'm just kidding.
But flying around, right?
Flying around a different verse. No, I was working for I was doing another space game called Pilot X that never made it, never finished, with an investor in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we were doing that, and then I had a failed Kickstarter. If you really want a good laugh, go check out Conquest Frontier Wars: Devirium Uprising and see how few people cared about that game.
Oh! Was that our fault from the backers, or did you not made not much advertisement for that?
I will blame it on the guy who did the Kickstarter, which would be me. So it'd be my fault. Maybe.
Yeah. So also now that question now that is inevitable is Wingman's Hangar and Around the Verse. So what's your point of view about Around the Verse? How do you like it?
I like it a lot. I think that that they're doing a little different kind of dynamic than what we did with Wingman's Hangar. They've sort of picked up the torch and they're carrying it in their own direction. I think I really like Bug Smashers a lot. I think they've got and Indiana James, of course, because I like the quirky kind of funny stuff. So I think Ben and Sandy are doing fine, and they've got their own style, and much like Wingman's Hangar, they're growing and they'll have their own things. Like I think we had I guess we came up with Redacted and Don't Suck and the black bars on everything.
Right,
and so it was a great time, and I'm sure they're coming up with their stuff too. So like it a lot.
And do you think we can see you somewhere around there in Around the Verse in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. I know that Sandy had asked me to be on the one that Mark hosted a couple weeks ago with her.
Yeah.
Co-hosted with Sandy. But I was on vacation, so I couldn't do it. So I said, why not use Mark? And so yeah, I think I'm going to be around the verse. I'm hoping to. I'm looking forward to it. And Ben said they want me, so yeah, love to do it again.
That's great. We are all eagerly to see that. Cool. So, what can you tell us about the revealing?
Well,
for Friday evening.
Well, it's going to be really, really. We every time we do a show, we have a list of things and priorities that we want to show everybody, and then we have a backup list, right?
Yeah.
And we have, in case we can't get to a certain point, we at least have this to show.
Okay, right.
This is the first time we've hit everything, so we're going to be showing quite a bit. And by the time you're hearing this, you've probably already seen it. So, multi-crew Constellation, Murray Cup Racing, the new Connie commercial. the new hangars are going to be revealed, and they're really cool. I really like the Revel in York. We've changed, instead of calling it discount business and deluxe, those are going away.
Okay.
It's more in fiction hangars. So
Okay, right.
and they're manufacturer based. So we've got those coming out, and so yeah, it's going to be a really
So
really
more
fun
the immersive part.
yeah, well, that's the point, right?
Storyline.
We're getting deeper into what we're doing in the game. We want people to jump in and become a character in our universe, and so together, and so all the directions. That's where we're headed.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And what is your personal opinion on that? What you would like to read? You're quite happy, or you think there are some parts now that we didn't manage now to reveal, or
Well, no,
really
no,
everything that you planned is we get that right.
Well, the guys in Los Angeles, particularly the guys in England and Los Angeles, worked the hardest on this demo. We chipped in Austin, but as we're the persistent universe, we didn't have as many people working the late hours. Although we put our time in too. So, I'm very happy with everything that's coming together. I'm really happy with Aaron's group joining us in England too. They're fantastic, and they're all old friends of mine. We did Starlancer together. So, I think I'm very happy with where we're at. I'm very happy with what we're revealing, and I think people are going to like it. And Arena Commander, now everybody can play that.
Yeah,
so,
right.
That's a kind of a big step for us, and we've got some. I don't. Do we have a new game type? I think the new Vandal co-op's also coming for this too. So
Vandal co-op?
Yeah.
What exactly we can?
Multiple. You join together and fight the Vandal Swarm.
So you join together. You can choose your friends.
Right,
So, this is that part that since now was missing. That friends together can play.
Yeah, and that's still coming as well in the next. That's not going to be revealed here, but that's coming very very quickly. You want to have a friends list. You want to get together and fight.
Of course.
Fight each other even, right? So, and you want to do capture the core. We're big on organizations and groups getting together. So you want to be able to hook up with your friends and go out and battle together. And so, if we want to do team play, well, you can't just have random teams. The fun really comes when you can hook up with your buddies.
That's right. This is what I think everyone is waiting for.
Right. It's coming up.
Yeah, and also now you talked about the organization part. Now, do you know maybe when we can expect the organization drop for your website, about the fleet view, etc., and this kind of stuff? Or
I know aliens? It was really close. I know that we were. I think the fans actually voted for something else instead of the organizations ahead of the organizations, right? So I know organizations were really coming up, but the fans voted for something else. So it's on the plate to do, but I believe the map Galactopedia thing is the next thing for them. So
okay, right.
And then I think it'll be after that. So
that's a pity. I voted for the organization.
No. You guys literally changed the direction. It's okay. We got to do them both anyway, but we could work on one or the other at the time, and the fans voted, and hey. You guys are driving us, so have fun with it.
Yeah, that's right. And this is what we like, that we really can also talk with you together and say, hey, we would like to see that first and so on.
Of course.
And you're really responding well since now. So from my point of view, say like that.
Normally in a developer-publisher relationship, you're sort of you don't get the interaction you get with the customers or the fans, right? And so. And you go down a path, and you think when you put your game out that you hope that you hit it right. But you may not. You get the feedback after, and then you go, crap, I got to fix that. We're getting the feedback now, and that's helping us a lot. I think.
Directly.
Yeah, directly. Yeah, I know. I call it reaching out through your computer with a virtual handshake with the citizens. So yeah.
That's great. So also now come a little bit to some questions. I know
questions.
I know the most here by my heart, but I have to every time look sometimes on the paper here. But no problem.
Hey, me too, man. I understand completely.
So. Also for my really understanding, the character now that we have there, it's standard character that you see. Is there also something in future now or near future we see that we can create our own character for our own look and like?
Your own avatar, yeah, that's in the process. We're researching the technology there, whether there's a partnership we're thinking about working with another company that's doing some really cool character stuff, or we're going to do our own avatar creation system. So it is coming up. Behavior is the group in Montreal that's working on that, and they're under our umbrella because it's part of the Persistent Universe. But we're very much aware that people want to be their own character, and so yes, that will be coming up. I don't think that's really quickly, but I know it will be coming up.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! Our food is coming here.
Pause to eat and then.
Let's say like that we make here a little pause because look at that, the steak here, a filet, sweet. Okay, let's eat and we make a little pause and
Wingman needs to
after.
get the weight on.
Yeah, that's it's about 1, 2, 3 points on the list. Okay, let's make a little pause and we hear us afterwards.
Excellent lunch there.
That was really excellent. So we were eating Argentinian filet.
Argentinian steak.
That's quite. Also for me as a Swiss guy, it's quite nice.
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
And now let's continue,
Okay.
if we can, because
Sure.
my stomach is quite full right now. I'm so sleepy.
Right on.
So we were talking about the character mode, as the character generation stuff, and so you already answered it. Now, for me as a Idris owner and some other Idris owner, they were concerned about now when the size changed of the Idris. Can it still land?
Can it still land? This is one of those questions that it's going to be, where you want to give the answer, but you don't want to spoil it. So I'm just going to say you're just going to have to wait and see.
Okay. Or otherwise, you
Even
can.
if it can't land, you can still dock.
Yeah. Or let's say like that. You can everything land. It depends on how it looks like
Right,
afterwards, if it's
exactly.
crashed or not.
Well, true. Or if you dock on a space station or you dock some, there's ways of getting where you need to go. So.
Yeah. And now with Arena Commander, we talked a bit about the Arena Commander also now during the food. And are there some new modules that you will reveal now?
Yeah, we're doing the Murray Cup racing. That's coming out. It's a racing track where people are going to get in there and race. It's in atmosphere, by the way, which is really interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, but we're not. That doesn't mean we're doing an atmosphere flight right away, but it is. There's some. It makes the flight a little different. It's kind of fun. We have Vanduul co-op coming up, where you can get together with your friends and fly against the Vanduul rather than just single player. So yeah, those are the two new modes I know that we're releasing, and there's a bunch more coming. So this is just step one, and everybody that's jumped in at this point has been amazing and patient, because that bug of that jitter bug we had, which is not just a dance in America, but is also a bug in the game.
Oh, it's just a dance in America.
Yeah, the jitter bug. Come on, George Michael, man. Jitter bug.
Ah, yeah, this one now. Okay, now I got it.
Here, let me just break in a song. You know, it's like, so that was a booger for us to get. It took us like 3 or 4 weeks, and but it's a big deal. This is the kind of stuff we need information, because before we'd release this to a large group of people, it was fine. You know, we were playing fine amongst ourselves and across studio playtests, so we didn't see it. But once we go to a large swath or a large group of folks, that they're identifying bugs that we would never have been able to identify before. And then generally those would come up at the end, and then you're scrambling and people are complaining, it's a buggy game, and you're like, well, you know. So now we're knocking the bugs out as we go, thanks to you guys, actually.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the problem, that people have high expectation at the moment, and so you have to be really careful what you release in that case, and in which quality.
They do have. We set the expectation fairly high. I mean, we ourselves have very high expectations. That being said, it is still a process, and you know, there are going to be moments that we release something that we think is good and ends up being a little buggy.
Yeah.
And it's our community's been amazing at crashing websites and finding the bugs. So you know, keep it up.
That's true. And now we are every time talking about Persistent Universe and the Arena Commander, but what's about with Squadron 42? Is there something that we can get some information and news about that in Squadron 42?
Well, I can tell you that I know the team's working on it in the UK, right? The thing about telling things about Squadron 42 is that it's a single-player mostly experience, right? So you don't want to spoil that. That's a story-driven experience. So if I went out and say you were going to go see a Star Wars movie and I told you everything that was going to happen in the movie before you saw it, you wouldn't enjoy the movie. So I don't want to. I just don't want to spoil it for people. Let me just say that I think people are going to really, really like it. The team is amazing. I've worked with them on Star Lancer before. I worked with some of them on Privateers. Mm-hmm. So Aaron's incredible as a studio director over there, and Nick Elms, Derek Senior, Phil Miller. They've just got an incredibly talented team over there, and I think you guys are really going to like it. And the story that Dave Haddock, Phil, and John Schimmel are putting together. Yeah, people are going to really, really enjoy it.
And as we know also that they already finished some episodes, right? Or are in the finishing phase for some episodes.
Yeah, they're doing. They're
3 or 4.
You're breaking them up into like I think they're doing. Right now they're on a vertical slice, which is they're going to take one mission, take it, you know, all the way through to a point to where it's polished, and then we can play it as a group and see how we like it and what needs to work and how the gameplay works. I mean, everything that we're doing here ties into Arena Commander, for instance, space combat, all ties into Squadron 42. So all these steps are being done concurrently, but you know, all the balance we do in Arena Commander affects Squadron 42. All the, you know, the stuff they're doing affects stuff in Persistent Universe. So it's all one big web, and so everything that we're working together with them on changes and gets better as we go.
Yeah. That's great. So let's see what they will have in the next monthly.
Yeah, you're just gonna. You're exactly. I think Squadron 42 is probably always going to be one of those things that's a little behind the curtain, you know, because again, it's a spoiler alert. Right.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to tell people. It's got a really good team behind it, and there's some really fun stuff coming. But I'm not going to spoil it.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you what.
Fair enough.
I'm looking forward to playing it, and I know a lot of what's going on. So you know.
That means everything in that case.
We're all in the same boat here. We all want to play these games.
Yeah, of course. We're all eagerly to see that afterwards. Yeah, right. So also you talked about the new hangar style.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, Behavior's been working on those for a few months now. It's our first versions of the room system where you're going to be able to expand the hangars and attach rooms to them going in different directions and stuff, which will be the next step towards like server-side persistence, where you allow friends to come visit your hangars and stuff like that. Right. So, you know, this is the first step into that direction. And so the new hangars are more in fiction. They'll be revealed in video this weekend. I think they're going to be coming out in Release 13, which should be fairly quickly, you know, after after this, a few weeks, so to speak. I hate giving dates, by the way, because we
Yeah, of
never
course.
hit them. We try, but we never do, and that's the life.
But
of
we
a
know
developer.
that already.
Yeah, most people know that. Some of the guys in the forum seem to have issues with that, but that's okay. It is what it is. They're beautiful. The behavior's done an amazing job. They're all physically PBR'd, which means that the materials look great. They just look. The first ones we put together, which we did in Austin and Forrest did, and were good. They look nice. But this is a whole new level, and it's brilliant, and it's more in fiction. We want to start driving everything instead of calling it discount, business, and deluxe. You call it things like Revel in York or things of that nature. So they're more involved with what's going on fictionally in the universe, because that's where everything needs to be. Chris is really big on immersion, and as we all are, and so that's the direction we're headed that way too.
Okay. Are there also more interactive things planned for the hangar in that case?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, don't want to reveal too much, but there's going to be a lot of stuff to do in your hangars, but it's six half dozen other, right? If we work a lot on mini games or things to do in the hangar, are we working on the persistent universe? So
okay.
The most important
fair.
thing for us is the persistent universe. So there'll be things coming online like shooting gallery and stuff like that, but and that's cool. I'm not sure if we're going to reveal that this weekend, but yeah, it's pretty neat. I'll tell you off the record here when we put the microphone away.
Away then afterwards, yeah. Now, I have a question that really my wife is interested in it.
Okay.
Because she likes...
No, I'm sorry, I'm married.
I need a lawyer. No, in that case, she really liked to play Entertainer in Star Wars Galaxies in that case. So her question is are there also possibilities in that game to play that without flying around with the ship? To be like entertainers or bar owners or store owners to do the daily stuff like that?
Eventually that's going to be there. I don't think that's going to be there early on. I mean, we're focusing, pretty much on space combat and then the adventure and the things that people voted on, right? Exploration, adventure, things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, first-person shooter stuff that's being done by Redacted is like the worst redacted in the history of Redacted, which is awesome. So yeah, you'll be able to do stuff on planets that is off, more life, but more character driven. But that's a ways out.
Yeah, right.
Because ours is focused on space exploration, trading, economy, combat, things like that.
Or even with the Luxus version from the Constellation or whatever, an entertainer can entertain on the ship itself, right?
What kind of entertainer does she want to do? She like to sing or something, or what?
Yeah, sings, play guitar, music, singing, etc., cool. And this kind of stuff.
So again, that gets down to priorities, right? Do you put your efforts with your coders, your designers, your programmers into that, or do you put it into like planet building and planet sites? So it's that's probably something that would be, if that was a stretch goal, that would be way out there, so to speak.
Let's do a vote on that. Everything is at the moment on a... Since then you introduced the voting system, everything will be voted at the moment. So people think when they can vote now, they have the power to dictate to whatever they want. Well, it looks like that.
Sometimes, we never. Okay, so we are developers, right? We know what we're doing. We've done this, most of us, over 20 years. So we would never put like things in there that would like halt development too much in one direction. But we will. But if we get to a stage where we have like 1, 2, or 3 things we can work on now that are, we could go either direction and they don't necessarily impact the full length of the schedule, then what's wrong with letting folks decide what they want to see? And we're in this together. Without you guys, there's no us. So
right.
We want you part of it. We want you part of it. So yeah,
that's great. So now also FPS module and planet side stuff. By Redacted. Correct. So, what do you think? When exactly can we expect that? Is it still in the time frame that was one time, let's say, released by GameStar one time?
By GameStar? What did GameStar say?
I don't have it right now in front of me right now, but they one time wrote that in it. So, but it was a roughly time, so it's not really that it was a statement.
Right. It's coming. It's coming very soon.
Soon TM, or what?
Yeah, soon, trademark, soon. But it's actually not that far away, and the guys at Redacted are working really hard on it. So I know that's not a reveal that's coming up here at Gamescom, but I would expect a possible reveal somewhere near future with that.
Near future means in 2-3 years or so. Or
Oh no, it doesn't mean that far away.
months.
If it's 2 or 3 years, no. I'm not going to give a date here. I don't do that. But I mean, it's I think I don't think you'll have long to wait.
Yeah, because already we know that Redacted is already on the booth to walk around in the ships and so on. And
I think a lot of people are looking forward to EVA, right? And it's all going to tie together. That's kind of how we're doing this, right? So that you have Arena Commander, then maybe you can get out and pull your pistol out and start shooting at the guy who shot you down.
I'm the gunslinger here.
Right. And maybe that guy can just run you over,
That's
blood everybody wants a little blood on the windshield.
And really, this is also the first game in that case that I personally know that really all these different parts are putting together, like flight in the space, walking around,
That's right.
and so on, shooter.
Yeah, walking around inside your ship, which is going to be revealed this week, right? So we're going to go, the entire flying around multi-crew stuff. So
And the multi-crew. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. You can imagine.
It's fun. It's a good time.
So can I invite you one time to my ship? Is that possible?
Sure, I can. I'm a bad gunner though.
I don't care.
I might shoot you. It's like the guy in Indiana Jones, where his dad shoots off the tail, and he's like, "Son, they got us."
Or the one from Waterworld, with the pork nose shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, that's a nice team. I'm a bad pilot. You're a bad gunner. We can only win.
That's right. That's what lifetime insurance is for.
Right. So what do you think about the lifetime insurance? Is this overrated for some, or because everyone is crying? Oh, one we do want lifetime insurance again. And so, do you think CIG would do that, or something? No, that's really something that was for the backers, really early backers.
Well, I think that as we move through the process, I mean, the people that discovered us early, and the people that backed us early that allowed us to get off the ground, they should have some benefits, for being there early. And I know that's not necessarily fair, but life's not fair.
That's true.
But as we go on, there'll be other people that don't get things that people are getting now. So, just tough.
So sorry, folks.
I can't say it'll never come back because that's really not my decision. That's Chris's and Sandy with marketing, and they'll figure out if they want to do it. But I don't think we've even really talked about it. So we set a mark on the ground. Yeah. I don't see it coming back, but it might. I mean, it's not up to me.
Yeah. You also talked about that you are doing also the persistent universe stuff and responsible. We also know that about 5 systems now are implemented. You wrote that in the last monthly report. What exactly means implemented?
Well, that means they're designed where you can kind of go there, play. I mean, we don't have like a lot of stuff that we need for like conversation system completely working or the mission system implemented, but we know what those systems are going to be. We know exactly what you're going to do in those systems. We know the characters that are going to be there. We know so we're in the process of building all the assets for that, the art assets. So we know exactly what those first 5 systems are and they're going to be. So that's what we mean by implemented. And so now that the Persistent Universe team, led by Tony Zurvek and Rob Irving, and they're now making that happen. The artists are working. Mark Skelton's actually on that.
Yeah.
The golden shirt, which I think you won the golden shirt, right?
Yeah, it looks like that. I will win the golden shirt. That's the highest bidder. Yeah, when I can help, I help in that case. So
great.
Let's say like that. When I'm healthy, I have no problem. So I'm one of the lucky guys. Then I say, why not to help someone else?
I'll buy the detergent because you're going to need it because that shirt is stinky. that shirt smells.
Let's see what we do with the golden shirt afterwards.
Right, it'll be fun.
Let's do a vote afterwards on that, right?
So Mark's back to the original. Mark's doing the art and managing the process for the Persistent Universe, and Behavior's also working with us. So it's implemented means getting really close to having something very fun to play.
Okay. So also something that you can also then as a sneak peek show one time. So
we do that as soon as look. It'd be great to actually get months ahead of these things, but Chris is really good about. If we have something cool that we're working on, he's going to show it. So
directly.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as it's good enough, he'll say, "Yep, let's show it," and we'll show it. And that'll be I know we're going to be doing a Persistent Universe style or like a social module. So those things will be released again modularly at some point. So
That's the great thing about modules. You can every time put something else in it and so on.
Again, you guys help us find problems. You help us, maybe it's not as fun as you wanted, or you wanted other things, or maybe your wife can get a bunch of people to vote that, hey, I want to be an entertainer.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Then we need to bring that up in the schedule, so to speak. So, yeah.
Now also with the Arena Commando, can you maybe tell us that also will this one be one time extended? In that case, extended. Now it's about fighting, flying around, and so on, but also to test something in it, like with a freelancer, in example, to load ships or into space to get the cargo out, to put it in again.
This is not even close to being done. The Arena Commander is just the baby step into where it's going to be. So all of that stuff will be happening, as well as lots of different game types, objectives. We want to get some really good team play stuff in there. So leaderboards, all that. It's a process of happening as we go, and it's fun now, but it's not really close to what we want it to be. So it'll get there. It's just going to be a process of,
So we have to be patient on that.
Yeah, I know. It's never something anybody wants to hear, but yeah, you have to be patient. But again, we showed this week we've put 2 new game types out there, so those things are coming. So it's gonna be, and they're gonna keep coming like faster and faster. As well.
Yeah. So then the question. What is then in the priority list the next module from the Arena Commando you get out? So now it's the multi-crew now. So
what's
module, next?
The next module. Well, you asked a question earlier about what some certain thing coming up soon. And I was saying soon, so I don't know.
You don't know exactly. So let's be surprised afterwards.
I do know, but I'm just saying that there might.
Let's say that off the records afterwards.
Yeah, off the record. It might be a redacted module. Let's just say.
Yeah, redacted module. So yeah, I think it was a quite nice interview. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
And. I enjoyed it in that case. Also nice to have you here,
Thank
and also
much.
with the food. Of course, I hope you like the Swiss chocolate I brought for you.
Thank you very much for that. I got to tell you, that is the one thing I am most surprised by in this whole process is citizens sending us stuff, man. What the heck? We love it, and you brought me some amazing chocolate here, and thank you for this, because my weight really needs this. I'm sure this will be healthy. Maybe I might even just take that home to my wife, to be honest with you, because she's a big chocolate fan.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
And happy wife is happy life.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
You're right. So, and also, some people were also concerned about what's going on with the weight of the Wingman. You are continuing that one time?
No. Wingman's weight is in bad shape right now. It's actually.
You mean
it's back where we started?
You mean this is the same project like the Kickstarter project you did that failed?
This was a complete and utter disaster on my part. And the funny thing is, Germany last year was where I got off the wagon, and so I'm going to get back on it. My kids are constantly busting my chops about, going and doing exercise, and and he was telling me, you got to climb the church, Dad. You didn't make it last year. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's even harder this year. And he goes, you got to do it. So I'm gonna try it. I'll try it on Saturday, because last year I did it the first day I got here, and I had to lift my legs out of bed every day because it was like they were sore. So this year I'm gonna do it the day before I go home, and we'll see if I can make it this time.
Yeah. Okay. Also, as I said, we are now going to an end for the interview. I liked it. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
And for me now, let's see us tomorrow on the event. And of course, when we air, it was nice on the event. Let's say like that.
Cool. So we can end it with the "Hear You in the Verse."
Hear you in the verse.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Okay, let's say that together. And
1, 2, 3.
hear you in the verse.